Hello,
Welcome to Women Winning with Money.
And today we will be talking about understanding stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Why is it important? I know many of us, we are women on this table, and we know that when it comes to investments, women tend to feel a little bit lost, especially when the conversation goes along the lines of specifics. Well, the reason we put together Women Winning with Money is to make sure that you never get lost or you never get confused as to what they're talking about when they're talking about money matters. So, starting from the very beginning, we have encouraged you in every single episode of our podcast to save. However, we have also told you that saving is not enough. You have to get to a point where your money works for you. It doesn't make sense to keep saving the money and then inflation turns your money to dust in your hands. You must learn how to invest. Now, this episode is dedicated to talking about the different vehicles you can invest in that will fetch you a higher interest rate than what you will get from ordinary savings. Of course, we're not talking about saving under your bed or saving under your pillow where rats and human beings can take it away. We're talking about looking for good places where you can put your money and earn good returns on it. Now, most people do not understand how stock works. They also do not understand what shares are. When we talk about bonds, government bonds, corporate bonds, people usually just lose interest and then just leave it for the experts. Well, we are here to give you the simple basics that you need to understand to be able to monitor how your money that you put in stocks, bonds, and mutual funds grow. But I'm not the one to tell you the specifics. Lola here would go into details of how you monitor stocks and bonds and how to invest in it. So Lola, over to you.
Thank you so much, Jumoke. Yes, shares is actually you having ownership in a company, and it's a very good source of investment. I just put up a book, From Shares to Wealth, because I've realized over time that you can actually build wealth from shares. Now, you become a co-owner of an organization. Companies from time to time will say they want to raise capital for different reasons, and then they come to the market, either primary or secondary market, and say, oh, we need people to come and invest. By investing in those companies, you become a co-owner of that organization. Now, there are several benefits of investing in organizations, which I'll just talk about in brief. Of course, if you need more, please come to us. We will definitely put you through how to go about investing in shares, investing in stocks, and of course, bonds. Now, still on shares. Now, when you invest in shares, what are the things that you stand to benefit? The first one I'm going to talk about is what we call capital gain. For example, a company comes out and says, oh, we're going to sell shares at 36 Naira, and you bought it last year, and this year it becomes 50 Naira. What have you gained? You have gained 14 Naira on every unit of shares that you have bought from that organization. So imagine you paying 36,000 Naira for 1,000 units of shares of that organization, and by this year it's 50 Naira, you have gained 14,000 Naira. That is not all that you will gain. Now, another time you could invest in shares, and there's something we always hear, dividend. Everybody wants to have dividend. Yes, dividends are in two types. You have the cash dividend, and you also have what we call the shares dividend. Now, the cash dividend, the company can say, we've made a lot of profit, and because you are part of the owners, we want to give you part of it as dividend, cash dividend. And they could say, okay, for every unit of shares that we have profited from, we're going to give you 4 Naira. So imagine if you bought 1 million units of an organization or the company and they're paying 4 Naira, you are going to make 4 million Naira without working. Now, that drops into your account. So that is cash dividend. Now, a company could say, oh, we've made so much. We're not going to give cash dividend, but we want to give more dividend or more shares. That is what we call bonus dividend. So you have bought 1,000 units, and they say, okay, for every 100 or for every 10, we're going to give you 1 extra. So on 1,000, they give you, on 1,000, you get 100. Now you have made extra 100 units on that 1,000 units. So if you're going to be looking at your portfolio, what do you have? You have 1,100 units of that shares. And if it is selling for 50 Naira, you can do the maths together. And aside that, if you want to maybe you want to go for visa or you want to borrow money. That is part of your assets. So investing in shares is very good, and I want to encourage you, if you need more information, please reach out to us. Of course, bonds. We have FGM bonds, we have treasury bills. Now, this is borrowing government or a corporation money. And then when they get this money, they use it, they pay you interest at the end of the tenure. Now, the treasury bill is actually a maximum of 1 year. And at the moment, the interest is as high as 17, 16, and for FGM bond is 2 years and above. You can definitely invest in it, and you'll be getting your interest every six months if you invest in it. Even the government have come down to say we're going to have what we call savings bond, and you can invest with as low as 5,000. These are different investments that you can put your money in and grow into it. Funke here is going to tell us more about mutual funds.
Thank you, Dr. Lola. Mutual fund. When we hear mutual fund, we think, oh, it's something very serious, something that you need to go to Cambridge before you can invest into. No. Mutual fund is very easy, and it is a very good way to grow your savings. Very, very good. What is mutual fund? Mutual fund is a kind of fund that is managed by an expert, and it is usually a pool of funds from you and me. To start a mutual fund, all you need to do is get somebody you trust, a fund manager that you trust. There are a lot of banks that have fund management arms. Get one of them. If you come to us, we tell you the ones you can use. Get one of them and start investing with them. One reason you should choose mutual fund is that you don't need a lot of money. With as low as 5,000 naira, you can start your mutual fund. Another reason why you should have mutual fund in part of your investment portfolio is that it's usually low risk. You can be sure that your money is safe. There are 4 types of mutual funds that are further divided into different products depending on the institution you go to. There is money market. Money market invest into short-term investments like commercial papers, fixed deposit, treasury bills. There is equity. Equity mutual funds, they invest into stock. And you know what? The risk is higher with equity mutual funds than with money market mutual funds. Another one is fixed mutual funds. That one, your income is fixed, and they invest into treasury bills and bonds. The last one is the balanced mutual fund. Balanced mutual fund is a combination of all the other 3. So the 4 types of mutual funds we have presently in Nigeria, banks and investment companies now use that to develop products for you to invest into. So I'm going to encourage you that today, decide that you are going to invest into mutual fund. If you chat us up, we can give you details of how to invest, and with as low as 5,000 naira, you start building your future. My darling here is going to tell you more about all these investments.
Thank you very much, Money Queen. When you hear about investment and all of that, you can feel intimidated, thinking that's a big deal. Funke already said that this is not a big deal. And I want to say that the best way you can actually secure your financial future is when you invest. Investing means multiplying your money. And I get a lot of these. People will say that I earn just a little, I don't have enough, I'm not making sales, I can't invest. I'll tell you a story. 20-something years ago, after my ND, I have a mentor who happened to love, investing in stocks and shares, and he actually taught me how to do that. At that time, I was earning 7,000 naira, and I would pay my tithes as a Christian, 700 naira. I would save part of the 700 naira, and I would, when it gets to a point, I started investing in buying shares. And you can imagine 20-something years ago till now, imagine all the shares I bought at that time. So I want to encourage you, don't think that you earn just a little, you don't have much, you don't want to invest. Funke already told us that with as low as 5,000 naira, you can start mutual fund. So I will encourage you, if you are listening to us, start today. Reach out to us. We will tell you how you can invest in, mutual funds and every other investment that you desire. Remember that if you don't invest, you may not be able to achieve your financial goals. You may not be able to live the kind of life you wish to as retirement. You may not be able to multiply your money. Now, I want to encourage you to make a decision today. The only thing you should do is be determined, be patient when you are investing, avoid Ponzi schemes, and make sure that you make your money work for you. Thank you very much for joining us. And if you have any question, you have any, you want to invest and you don't know how to, please reach out to us. And even if you really want us to discuss any other topic on this podcast, please reach out to us. Until next time, stay informed, stay determined, keep investing. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.